Yo. What is up, Coast Nation? It's your boy Leroy. Got my guy Trev here with me. Hope
Sir,
everybody having a great weekend out there so far. Just got
happy
done
draft
with the
week.
NFL draft. Got our class set in stone. Hope everybody's having a great weekend out there. Shout out to the guys at ZTV. Appreciate you guys. How you doing tonight, Trev?
Good, man. Good. We were just kind of going over the draft a little bit one-on-one before the show, but yeah, man, we'll get into it obviously, but I'm stoked about the class. It was fun keeping up with it this year. We just seeing how many this was such a good class overall. So just seeing all these great players that you watch in college, where they land at. Obviously the Shador drama and everything. Like it was a fun week for the NFL draft. So and we got better. So that's the biggest thing.
Absolutely, man. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get into our 2025 class. Started that class off with a first round pick, Tyler Warren out of Penn State. I know this pick made a lot of headways. Everybody was all over the place where they want a tight end,
Yes.
linebacker, whatever it is. Then we go to second round pick. We took JT Tuimoloau out of Ohio State, defensive end.
Big guy.
Um, then we took Justin Wally, cornerback out of Minnesota. Then we went fourth round pick, Jalen Travis, offensive tackle out of Iowa State, big boy.
Built like a truck, dude.
Then we took fifth round pick, DJ Giddens out of Kansas State. Quarterback Riley Leonard, we took in the sixth round. Quarterback out of Notre Dame. Then we also made a trade. I want to say it was earlier, about the fourth round that we made the trade, and added another sixth round pick. Everybody, if you know Ballard, you know we're not coming away with less than 7 picks usually.
We're getting value in those late rounds.
One draft that we did have 7, we actually started with 6, traded back, and ended up with 7. So you know Ballard going to add some. Then we added another big boy out of Alabama, defensive tackle Tim Smith. And then to cap off this 2025 class, we added Hunter Wohler. He is a safety out of Wisconsin and will be transitioning over to linebacker.
Dude, hits people.
And that is our 2025 draft class. We got some undrafted free agents in here as well that are coming in. I haven't got all those names yet, so apologize with me, but I'll try and get them in as the show goes on. But I do know we got one. We got Landon Parker, wide receiver out of Troy. Obviously, this is a RAS score monster, 9.9 RAS score wide receiver. So we know Ballard loves a RAS score, but appreciate everybody coming in, man. Trev, what you thinking about that?
Welcome. Yeah, dude. Like, I'm just so stoked about this class, man. I think overall, like, there was a couple positions, like we talked specifically about round 2, round 3, where it's like, man, I thought we might go a different way. Like, we had our favorite players like Ben Morrison, Will Johnson highlighted, thrown up there. Nick Scourton was a favorite of mine. I thought we could get, and we kind of went a different way. So it was that bittersweet kind of like, well, we got the position. Obviously, I'm gonna trust the process a little bit, but man, I just wanted my guy. But I mean, overall, just you look at where we were able to get guys. I think we got such good value in this draft. Obviously, I am completely over the moon with our first round pick. You and I specifically have been calling for Tyler Ward for months. So to see it happen the way it happened, I was really worried Chicago was going to take him, and he fell to us, bro. It worked out perfect. And then
I was actually shocked that Chicago took who they took over.
Dude, they gift wrapped it for us and handed it to us on a silver platter. Thank you, Ryan Poles. You made my night, bro. But yeah, man. Overall, yeah, just as I was saying, like the value that we got, right? You look at round 5, late in the draft, you get a guy like DJ Giddens, who I think is going to be a series contributor for us, probably as the RB2, maybe RB3 early on. You look at a guy like Tim Smith, great depth behind Grove and Buckner that we talked about we needed before. Hunter Wohler, 7th round pick. Who knows what you're going to get out of him, but he could easily be a special teams guy, kind of take that Grant Stewart role last year. Like, this is heavy value that we got in the late rounds that is always just so impressive. I'm very happy about it.
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. So just going into it, another undrafted guy that we end up signing is a linebacker out of Texas A&M, Solomon DeShields. He also played for Pittsburgh at 2023. But yeah, we got plenty of stuff popping in here. Let's get a couple of these comments in. Nathan is coming in here. He says, I got 2 questions. Number 1, Who do y'all do y'all think the seventh round safety could play linebacker? Number two, this is the first year Ballard did not draft a small school player. So yeah, to answer your first question, absolutely, he's already being converted to it. I was just talking to Trev about this off air, so I could guess we can break into it now. And then the number two part, it's actually a little bit of a discussion kind of that I wanted to get into as well. I just think that Ballard, I feel like he was really locked in on a change in I don't want to say like character, but I want to say locker room mentality. If you look at schools and the type of players that Ballard took in this draft, I think this was a clear message to the locker room that he wanted to change the mentality of a lot of we had. If you look at a lot of the picks that we had were bigger schools, larger programs, winning schools, winning teams. I think that was a real theme of what he wanted, like a hard-nosed player out of Wisconsin, Minnesota, no nonsense, kind of all ball type of school. I think that was the theme that I had got from that.
National champion in our second round pick, and a guy that contributed very heavily to that national championships. I do agree. Yeah, it was kind of a shift in mentality almost of like, if we want to win championships, if we want to pursue gold in this team, we need to bring guys in who have been doing that from day one. Yeah, obviously it's great when you hit these gems, these lesser known prospects that no one else has circled. You get them late and they're great. Guys like Darius Leonard, it's great when you can hit on those. But sometimes you just take the kind of obvious pick, and more or less we kind of did that just in sense of where these guys come from. Every one of these are competitive schools, good schools, championship winning schools. So yeah, it was an interesting kind of change in mentality from Ballard.
Yeah, I just realized Donovan Edwards went undrafted. That was crazy.
I wouldn't hate that as another pickup. I don't think we need him, but I
think we should. I think we should do the rookie minicamp. I think he should be in on that.
Yeah, get him in there. Absolutely.
We got Rob Lucio on Facebook saying he got a pretty long one here, but he said not a fan of Wally. Could have got Xavier Watts, who plays both cornerback and safety. And Riley Leonard pick doesn't make sense because he's a younger version of Daniel Jones with a weaker arm. But it is what it is. Go Colts.
I hear you, man, because I kind of echoed that same sentiment with Justin Wally. I went and watched some of his tape after we got him because I wasn't super familiar. I knew who he was. I knew Minnesota a little bit, but after watching him a little bit, man, I'm happier about it because I was on the same wavelength. I wanted Xavier Watts there. Like, that seemed like it was lined up to be the pick. But this guy, you're talking about a guy who's very versatile, can play multiple positions in the defensive backfield, wraps up well when he tackles. Like, you don't see him just arm tackling and letting guys get by him a whole lot. So that's something that was heavily needed for us. And he seems to cover pretty well. He's fast, he's shifty, he's pretty strong. So he kind of hits all the points that you want out of a cornerback. Where does he play? I'm not sure. He could very easily, I think, compete for that spot as a CB2, CB3, whatever. But I am happier about it now that I kind of looked into the film and kind of got to know this guy as a prospect a little bit more. But I do feel like missing out on Xavier Watts. That was a little rough.
Yeah, me personally, man. I mean, I didn't really, care too much. I mean, it's like I told you before. We probably should just get in the grades of the overall draft. That'd probably be a good way to go, and then we can dive in a little bit further. But just if I was going to grade this draft, obviously, it's tough to say right now. It's so early. But if I was grading it right now, just offhand of what I thought of what the players were, who we picked and whatnot, I give it more like a C+, B-. That'd be my grade for this draft. I did not get totally excited and jump up for each and every pick. There was a couple of picks that were head scratchers to me, but that's where I stand as with it right now. What about you? What are you grading it?
I'm a little bit higher, man. You said what? C-, B+. I think I have it right around
C+, B-.
My bad. I have a little bit higher. I'd say B to B+, maybe even A-, honestly. Depending how these guys flesh out. Obviously, you go back and grade it differently depending on how these guys are. But I was over the moon with round 1. That's the pick I've had circled this whole time. So very happy with Tyler Warren. And then I felt like we got very good guys that I wasn't expecting out of the next 3 picks, right? You talk about JT, Justin Wally, Jalen Travis. Didn't expect any of those. But the more I look into them, the more I like them, right? And then I just love the value we got at the end of the draft with Giddens. Leonard, we can talk about in a moment. and then Tim Smith, Hunter Waller. Like I'm very happy with all of that. So I'd say B plus territory is where I'm at with it. I came away from this draft feeling very good.
Yeah. No shade there. Just what I was thinking. So, man, look. So to get into it for all the folks out there watching, man, just where I was at with it. Uh, just checking some Facebook comments real, make sure we don't too much. But yeah. So first pick, Tyler Warren. I was over the moon. I was happy for it. I said from the get go, when we had our show a couple weeks ago, is that I wanted to make sure we got starters. I wanted to solidify starters on this team. I didn't want it to be more so of the depth picks, some picks that I didn't really think would help us too much and put us in that position. So I was super excited to get Tyler Warren in the building. Then we take JT in the second round. I was irritated. I was highly irritated. I thought we could have got a starting pass rusher, Mike Green. I thought he was perfect right there. Or so with same with Donovan out of Boston College. Just thought there was two guys there that I thought could have been immediate pass rushing help. They can get to the quarterback. You don't have to teach too much. And so I just thought JT would have been there later. Like I feel like we could have got him in the third or fourth round. So that wasn't necessarily something I was too much excited on. So that pick right there kind of killed the draft for me. I thought day 2 was going to be the most important day for us. Now, then we take Justin Wally in the third round. It wasn't like I didn't like Justin Wally. I think a lot of people from their reaction and the grades that I've seen, some people had him like the 200 ranked player or something, 190th player to me, which I thought was crazy because the guy can play. Like the way that I saw him, he's sticky in coverage. He can do whatever you like. He's tough. He gets his hand on the ball. He can make interceptions and stuff. Now, it wasn't a name that, I was necessarily higher on. I thought there was some names out there that we still could have got better at different positions. But I think the dude can play. So I was not mad at that pick at all. Then we moved to our fourth round pick, Jalen Travis. This kind of bumped me back up a little bit. I already knew Ballard I thought he was going to go in the trenches on day 2, both picks, but he ended up getting Jalen Travis in the fourth round, which I loved.
Great value there.
Massive. He's huge. He can play tackle. So I thought that was good for Braden Smith questions. Then also we'll go Calves. Now you can move him to guard, have him play right guard if you want to. So there was that. And then again, him being as big as he is,
he moves well too.
But he moves. He's a former basketball player. He's athletic. So I thought I was really happy about that. Then fifth round, we take DJ Giddens running back. I've told you guys from as soon as the year was damn near over, give me a running back with speed and hands. He runs 4.4. Obviously, he had some drop issues last year, but me personally, I don't really care too much about running backs with drops. You're not a wide receiver; that's not your job. But I want you to be able to catch the ball. I want to say he had like close to 60 catches at
it was important for them. Yeah,
one of his years. 4.4 speed, like I said, he got the home run burst. He got to work on his pass pro and stuff like that. But I just wanted a running back that could do multiple things that we weren't getting out of Jonathan Taylor as far as just being a receiver type of running back. So I wanted to get that running back. There was different names that were chosen, but I'm still happy about DJ. So not mad at that. Then to Rob Lucio's point about Riley Leonard, I think any Colts fan that wasn't expecting us to take a quarterback, I'm just sorry to tell you, you were wrong what you're thinking. There was going to happen taken at some point, regardless. For one, we got Jason Bean back there at QB3. And then also you want to just have that kind of competition, somebody you can put on the practice squad and be available. I don't think Riley Leonard's bad. I don't think he's good. I just think he's okay. And again, like you said, he is a mixture. Somebody said before is like a mixture of Daniel Jones, or he's like Daniel Jones. Somebody also said a mixture of AR, and I'm like, that's cool. That's totally fine with me. It fits our system. We don't have to change up everything when we go to a different quarterback and how we're going to play. But the guy's tough. He was a good leader over there at Notre Dame. I think he brings in a good leadership, good mentality, comes from a winning program, stuff like that. So I just thought that was good. Then we take Tim Smith, defensive tackle out of Alabama, a refrigerator. Him and
love
Big
that
Move
pick, man.
next to each other. I immediately thought of them
Yeah.
two next to each other. I want to say he's like 6'5", 320, something
He's a
like that.
big
He's
boy.
a big dude.
And he moves too.
And so he's not necessarily a pass rusher, so don't expect that. But I thought this was a mix of Grover right there.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
needed that. If we look back at our past couple years, our D tackle depth has been terrible. As soon as Grover and DeForest Buckner have left the field,
Teams start running all over us.
absolutely necessary. And then we take Hunter Waller out of Wisconsin. I love Wisconsin boys as far as their toughness goes.
Hard
They come
nose,
to play,
yeah.
they come to hit, they come to tackle, they come to play football. And so he is originally a safety, which has been converted to linebacker. And hearing from Ballard in his presser, he was saying that the way Lou's going to run his system, it's almost like we're going to be in a 4-2-5. So we're not really going to have a Sam on the field as much. And that is the reason that we didn't go hard after a linebacker. So we'll see more DBs out on the field, which I do like. You know, obviously it can be a little iffy in the running game, but as long as your D tackles and your D line, which is another good thing about having JT, he can play in a run. But we shouldn't have to worry about as much getting eating up in the passing game as we have been over the last few years. And so that's why it was more so for me, kind of like a C+,
little bit lower,
minus, just with the names that I would have thought. But Ballard absolutely nailed every piece that I thought was a hole that needed to be addressed.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like the biggest thing that does kind of bring the grade down a little bit is exactly what you said, where it's like, it's not necessarily the names, right? Like there are names that we wouldn't want. Xavier Watts is the big one. And then in round 2, personally, man, I wanted Ben Morrison so bad. I've been super high on it. I know I'm just naming Notre Dame guys, but those two specifically, they were lined up in round 2 and round 3. And they're just great defensive backs that I thought would fit great with this team. Both great tacklers, great coverage, everything. So I was very much had those picks kind of teed up. So to go a different way as a fan of those guys and having watched so much film of them, it was like, damn, you know, I wish we could get those guys on the horseshoe. But ultimately, you know, if you hit the positions of need and you hit guys that you believe in, which obviously they do, then you just kind of trust the process with it. Like Justin Wally, was he picked a little bit early? He may have been, you know, he may have been available a little bit later. JT may have been available a little bit later. But this is a classic Ballard thing of like, if you believe that's your guy, and you know, I think a week or two ago we talked about just the conviction behind having a guy lined up and like that's your guy having that conviction. If that's how they feel about these guys, I'm going to trust the process, even though I would have went a little bit different way. It's the same positions that we needed, as you said, so I'm not mad at it at all. I do want to talk about though, because one of the previous comments was making sense of Riley Leonard, right? And I understand, like, we don't want the QB drama and this, that, and the other. But as you say, like, yeah, 100% we're taking a quarterback. It had to happen. And if we were going to take one, which we were, I think where we were at, this makes more sense than anything else. Like, you didn't want a guy like Quinn Ewers on this team. Lord, who else was available? I think McCord was available kind of in the 5th, 6th round. I think he went before our 6th round pick, though. But Riley Leonard does make sense.
I think
you said what?
I don't remember Colin McCord going. I thought might
he
have
went. Oh man, I forgot where he went, but he went before us. But Riley Leonard makes sense just because of his mobility, his athleticism, and he's teed up to be a backup for us, man. Like I don't believe he sees the field this year. I really don't. But I think that's also to his benefit. His game is not pro ready, man. I watched a lot of Notre Dame, and I watched him at Duke as well. He's not ready for the pros as it is right now, but he does have a high upside, right? He's just everything you said, athletic, great mentality, great leadership. You love all that in a guy. And then obviously he's very close with Daniel Jones, both being Duke quarterbacks. He was kind of his mentor coming up that he talked about. So that's just good for the QB room too. But it does make sense in just the sense of like, God forbid, let's say AR goes down or Daniel Jones goes down, whatever. You want to have a backup ready who has that same mobility. What we cannot have is like the previous years where if AR goes down and we put Gardner Minshew out there or Joe Flacco out there, and we have to completely change how we run our offense because those guys have nowhere near the same mobility, right? So if you put in an athletic guy, you can then heavily lean on the run game, and the quarterback can be involved in that as well instead of just, you know, halfback dives and praying to God it works. So that's kind of why that pick was made, was fitting the scheme, and overall, I'm pretty happy with it.
I mean, you just shouldn't be surprised about quarterback. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like when you got two guys competing at quarterback position, you should know you're going to draft one. And then it is also just good to have a guy that's going to be under contract for a little while as well.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Um, we got Joshua Merchant on Facebook. He said, "What's up, fellas? Love the show. Glad to be back again. Want to say I think we killed the draft. I give us a B. And personally, one of my favorite picks is the O line pick. That is a big boy.
It's fair,
Absolutely.
man. Great point.
Everybody's letting me know that Calvin Court went to Philly. I think that's a good fit for him. I think that's a good fit for him.
Yeah.
I think the way that they got it set up over there, Philly did a real nice job. I'm not gonna lie, dude. They like Howie Roseman literally could have slept through that entire draft, and literally so many picks fell right to his freaking lap. It's insane.
He's got that luck, man. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Insane how many guys have failed to him. Ash is saying here that we got a kicker, undrafted guy, Maddox Trujillo, has failed to us.
Cool.
Nathan is saying here, I'm surprised that Ballard didn't address the guard situation. I wouldn't exactly say he didn't address it because I think Goncalves is going to kick inside.
Yeah.
Was drafting Travis.
I believe so as well.
It's going to be one. And then also to that point too, Giddens also played a lot of the QB read type of offense, so he's going to be used to all three of the type of quarterbacks that he may ever need to take a snap from. So.
You're like slowly seeing that scheme finally come together because we talked about previous years how it just kind of seemed to clash with the personnel we had. So getting guys that fully fit this scheme, I very much like the direction we're moving there.
Yeah, absolutely. Nathan is also saying here, Ballard knows his job. Shane's job, AR job is on the line. If we miss the playoffs, all three guys will be going after this year. I'm sorry to say it.
Man, don't be a Debbie Downer, Nathan. It's a good day, bro. We got better.
I mean, I don't know. I really don't believe, even if we were to miss the playoffs, I don't believe Ballard's job is on the line as much as I hate to say it. I think the only way his job is really gone is if we have like a year like 22.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get super ahead and all that, but I do want to say, like, the comments that Ballard made after the season that we talked a lot about, I feel like he fulfilled that with the free agency and the draft we had. Like, we did see him kind of change his mentality and his approach to the offseason. And honestly, Ballard had, on paper, Ballard has had a very good offseason. So take that for what you will. And we have plenty of time to talk about stuff like that later on. But, yeah, man, the team got better in this offseason. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then same goes for what was it with the draft? Like I said, I just think like walking away from the draft, I feel good that we're not walking into the season with a major hole. There's nothing I'm looking at on this team and be like, oh my God, when are we going to address this? When are we going to address this? I mean, I think that's been something that's been
every year almost.
Every year.
And like, usually defensive back. And now we got some dogs back there.
Exactly. We got some dogs. We got some competition. We got some guys that can play.
A great tight end.
Yeah. So I just think that like we've literally addressed everywhere we need to. Now I would like to see Ballard go in free agency. Might go check on that linebacker from the Jets.
Sure. Yeah.
See if we can maybe get him on a smaller deal, something like that. Maybe Jermaine Pratt, maybe try and get something like that just to add, some veteran
still moves you can make. Room.
But I'm not mad. I just like the fact that we do not have any holes that I see that are glaring on the team. And we got Jordan Kibbe here. What up, Jordan? Man, missed you the whole draft season, whole off season. He said with the selection of Travis, our tackle that we picked up there. He says that I think it means Goncalves is going to kick inside and play some guard.
I believe so. I think Goncalves will start there too. We'll see how that competition kind of goes because there's a couple guys that could play there. But I really liked when we got Goncalves, I think 2 years ago now. And he's played well in the like very limited stats he got. He was last year, wasn't he? Yeah. I've always been excited about Goncalves, and he's always been versatile. So I agree, man. I think bringing Travis in, he's built to be a tackle, man. I mean, that dude is unreal size and strength. So, it should work out really well there.
Absolutely. And I saw that, Ash. She's saying that we got Ulysses Bentley, Mississippi running back. Ole Miss running back, not Mississippi. Ole Miss. He's had, I want to say over 500 yards over 900 yards total the last 2 years. Averaged over 5 yards per carry both years.
Yeah.
Never has gotten more than 100 carries per year.
He's good in limited snaps.
He's really good in limited snaps. So solid undrafted guy. We'll see how he comes in and competes in the off season. Zach, one of our co-hosts, is in here. He's saying outside of guard, Ballard has nailed this offseason. As much as I hate to say it, Chris Ballard has done well with a solid roster outside of inconsistent QB play. I mean, again, you guys keep pointing out guard, but I don't think it was ever a problem, to be honest with you guys. I mean, we signed Braden, and so it was always Goncalves. It was likely going to kick inside. Maybe even Braden Smith kicks inside, but one way or another. But agreed with the rest of what you said there. Really think he's done everything that he's needed to do as far as free agency, draft,
player acquisition,
making sure we're going into the season with competition. I mean, I don't really think there's too many spots you can look at and say there's not competition there.
Yeah.
Outside of wide receiver, which I didn't feel like was a need at all. I
have guys there. Yeah.
I had some list up. You guys have heard me talk about it and say some receivers that I like. I don't think we would get one, but just.
Yeah, I was okay with that. I thought we might look at a guy. There's this dude. I want to say his name's Nick Nash out of San Jose State, and he was available kind of late.
In the 6th round. He just signed.
He went undrafted, huh?
Yeah, I want to say he signed with the Buccaneers. I want to say a lot of people went to the Buccaneers.
Oh my, yeah,
he signed
so many wide receivers.
They just drafted like 3.
I know. Igbuka, they got Tez Johnson, and now him. But yeah, I would have liked to maybe have grabbed him in the 7th. But I mean, I'm happy with Hunter Waller. I'm not mad at that at all. And we really don't need a wide receiver, but we do need guys that can hit and potentially play special teams.
So Nash went to Atlanta. At all. Atlanta, that's what it was.
It's a good pickup.
Yeah. Dave Stewart is saying here, I'd like to re-sign Blackman on a 1-year deal for safety depth. Blackman signed with Carolina, I believe.
Yeah, he's gone.
If I remember correctly. Joshua Merchant is saying here, what's your opinion on the running back from Kansas State? He's talking about DJ Giddens. I think he's really good. I think it's nice that we got him. 6'1", 212 pounds, something like that, 215 pounds. So he's a bigger back, not necessarily small. He can catch the ball. He's explosive. Obviously, I wouldn't say his tape is explosive as his speed in the 40, but he ran the 4.4. He can break tackles. He has good balance. He's physical. He needs to work on his pass pro. Obviously, he had some drop issues last year. They said he had like a broken wrist or a broken hand or something, so that had something to do with his pass pro and a little bit of the drop. So there was that. But I really like the fact that we got a running back. I kept telling you guys all the time, like, there's no reason that you shouldn't have 2. You could have a do-it-all, like your 3-down guy, like we have Jonathan Taylor, but have a guy that can come in as the RB2 and a change of pace, a guy that has some explosiveness, a guy that can catch, a guy that can change up the game for what the defense is about to see. And I really like the fact that we got a guy who's very similar to JT, but has a little bit of a different skill set.
Yeah, different strengths and weaknesses. I think ultimately, like, the pass pro and the drops are the thing that currently hold him back from being a starter. But I think DJ Giddens could become a 3-down back down the line, whether that's for us or not. That's obviously way down in the future. But for right now and how he fits with this team, it's perfect, man. Like, we already have the guy that's going to do that. I'm not concerned about DJ Giddens pass pro because he's probably only getting 9-10 plays a game, somewhere around there, at least early on. But he's the kind of guy that in that limited amount of time, you give him a couple carries and he could potentially take them for huge yardage. Like, he has that explosiveness, he has the ability, he has everything you want. And if he didn't have those couple things kind of chipping away at him, he would probably have gone significantly earlier. But luckily he fell to us, and he kind of fits perfectly with what we've been asking for in a backup running back. So I really like the stable we have in that room now.
Damn, I think the Denver Nuggets might have just won on a missed 3 by Jokic that Aaron Gordon caught and put back dunk.
Oh wow!
And it's like this close, like they can't.
It's insane.
They're reviewing it right now. Crazy. Jordan Kibbe is saying here, Leonard makes sense because of this year. As long as success comes from DJ or AR, one of them is going to be gone. So then we move off that one. that one loses the job and Leonard becomes the backup. Yeah, absolutely.
That's very possible. Yeah.
That's all you do. You just get a guy that's gonna be the backup down the road in the future.
Yeah, in a way, he gives us stability there, but he does have good upside too. I can't sit here and say I believe Riley Leonard's going to be a starter in the league. That would take a lot, but he is one of those guys. Like if you pick a guy that late, you kind of hope he's like the lottery type ticket where he ends up being really amazing, like Brock Purdy, something like that. I don't see that, but he has that kind of upside where he can if he can just get his arm right. So it could pay off really well for us, man. I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah, that looks in. But yeah, we also got another question about the same topic. Rob Lucio saying, "Do y'all really think QB competition is? Wait, do y'all really think this competition is really legit? I don't see AR losing the QB1 spot, honestly. And by legit, I mean like, is there enough competition with Daniel Jones and Riley Leonard there? I personally think the competition is going to be real. Like, I really do think that it's going to be a real competition. It's not going to be like the Gardner Minshew AR competition when it was pretty much just hey, AR proved to us he's ready to play. I think this is really going to be like, this is your rep. This is the next guy's rep. Who did legit. It better? Who's more accurate? Who's more consistent? Who can, get the guys set up, aligned right, have the plays in on time? Who's going to do the little things and make sure they have everything going. So I do believe it's going to be legit. I don't think Riley Leonard really factors into that too much. I think that's more of a competition between QB2 and QB3 for Leonard, or not QB3, and then pretty much practice squad guy between Leonard and
Bean
and Jason Bean. So I do believe it'll be legit, but it's just I think the best thing is for it to be legit. Once it is legit, that you're not handcuffing a guy. Because if you have Daniel Jones or you have AR, whoever ends up starting, they go out there and both of them have to look over their shoulder, being worried about what might happen if they make a mistake.
It never works.
This season will not go well for us.
Exactly. So. And we'll just have ups and downs as well and just kind of end up nowhere. That's the most scary thing about a competition. But to answer the question, is it real? 1,000% it's real. And honestly, what was kind of eye-opening to me, because I like to go through and listen to the draft call videos, where you hear the guy get the call, and it's a great moment for everyone. But it did stand out to me for Riley Leonard's call. They called him, and they actually were talking about Daniel Jones as well, because they were like, we know you're close with Daniel Jones or whatever, and you kind of have a similar game to him. And I'll tell you what, we liked him a lot. So like they were like smiling and grinning and talking about how much they like Daniel Jones, which obviously you would hope they would, spending that much money on him. But it was kind of telling of like they didn't bring him here to not play, like it is. I think AR wins that competition, and I hope he does. And I think it's crucial for us for him to win it. But yeah, make no mistake, that competition is very real.
Yeah, he actually got a call from Daniel Jones, and AR texted him. So, they were happy to have him. Dave Stewart says, I think a tie will go to AR, but if Daniel Jones outplayed him, he will get it. I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
I was giving Rob Lucio saying I was giving Riley Leonard the benefit of the doubt by putting him in there. I can respect it. I can respect it. It's like you may not make him feel bad, make him feel like he's just a bag of Doritos sitting to the side waiting to see if he'll get picked up or not.
Yeah, his downfield threat, his accuracy and stuff, like basically all the issues we talk about with AR, with Daniel Jones, Leonard has those. Like he's very much that same archetype of player, but his arm is not near as strong as either of those guys really. And his downfield game, like he needs a lot of work. His pro game is not ready at all, in my opinion. But it can be very easily. So that's why he's a good pick. But make no mistake, he's competing to be on the roster. He's not competing to be the starting quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts.
Absolutely. Zach is saying CJ Mosley or Kaiser White is still available for his linebackers. Yeah, absolutely. Like I'm hoping we can get one of those guys. Zach said he just wanted a vet. I believe he's talking about right guard.
Could still happen.
But even still, Zach, I mean, I just think like if you can see how far along Travis is, worst case scenario, talk to Braden Smith, kick him inside at guard, and then he doesn't even have to worry about it. So I think it could work either way if that's the one you were talking about. If you're talking about linebacker, I think that's still open as well. Um, Ash is saying I think Goodson will be gone.
Oh
I
yeah,
wouldn't write him off just yet, but he definitely he can't drop the ball in key situations anymore. Like
it's shit. I mean,
it's
it's tough for him.
it's been a couple times now where it's like
Yeah.
we've gave you some chances to make plays and you dropped it twice. I mean, yeah, you're not gonna get too many of those being RB3. You got to take advantage.
And he's not going above Giddens and he's not going above Herbert. So I mean Goodson, he's gonna have to have an amazing offseason and an amazing camp to make his way on the roster. That's just what the situation is.
Jordan Kibbe is saying we look at JT and say other pass rushers are there, but you look at his run during the playoffs, he helped carry that defense 6.5 sacks strike and compliments Latu as a power rusher. Yeah, man, I'm telling you right now, like when I seen the pick, man, I just kind of it kind of lit me on fire because I was pissed off because I think we need a pure edge, pure pass rusher, just like Latu. I mean, Latu only got 50% last year of the snaps, so that's why it took a lot away from what he could have been learning. And I think Latu is going to turn out to be really good. But my thing with JT was I just feel like it was another Tyquan Lewis, a Kwity Paye, just like one of those guys to where it was like he's gonna be a really solid run defender, average pass rusher, kind of stick around for the
but
next
never really takes off.
and never really becomes that guy. And so that's what irritated me with the fact that you had two pure rushers there that could truly make a difference. And I know he had the good stretch. And I think that's the thing that kind of gets a lot of people is like when players have a good stretch for some reason, then we take them and we try and validate that. And I just thought it was one of those things where it's like if you look at some of the guys that he was playing with, Jack Sawyer, the defensive line
team,
they had over there at Ohio State, I mean, they were all killing it at Ohio State. And when you got a bunch of dogs playing around you, everybody's going to get a chance to eat. And so I think he can be a good player. And I think he has a high motor. I think he's relentless. I think he's a very tough player. But it's just I just thought there was other guys that I really felt like would have helped us immediately. Now, I'm not mad at it, I want to see what he can do. I want to see if he can really push Kwity Paye, and see if he can probably come up with that spot or get into some snaps because I'd love to see the Polynesian Punishers be able to work together with him a lot too, man. So it wasn't like I just really thought that adding Mike Green would have put this defense over the top. I just really believed it. So,
it's
like I said, look, these guys evaluated all year. They get paid to do it. I'm not saying I'm the scout. I'm not saying I know better. I just have my opinions, and I just felt like that would have been better to me.
Yeah, and it's like no one is putting down JT at all. I mean, obviously he's a very good prospect, and then he just won a national championship, and he was a very big contributor in that. Like that counts for something. 1,000% it does. But yeah, I was kind of in the same boat where it's just as a fan, you look at some of the names, and this was one of those names things where it's like, is that going to be a guy who's a day one impact, making plays on the field? And he very well could be. But I like you had guys like Mike Green, like Ben Morrison, who I thought I wanted picked there because I feel like I know they will be. And with JT, I'm like, I hope he is, and I think he can be, but I'm not necessarily sold yet. But
you want to read this one off? Are you going to, Trey?
Yeah, sure. So Jordan says JT has always shined since he was a freshman, especially when everyone thought Sawyer was going to be that primary guy after Bosa and Young, and JT stole it. And yeah, I mean, like let's make no mistake, it wasn't just this stretch this past season that made JT be the guy he is. He's been very good for Ohio State since he got there. Like he's a great prospect, a great player. It was just like a name thing, and I think very easily, like a couple weeks into the season, I'll be over here singing JT's praises, like. I very much see that happening because I like you said, they've evaluated this guy. They've had eyes on him for a long time, obviously. But just in the moment, it did feel like we could have probably got him a little bit later and got someone else right there. So maybe a little bit of a reach. But if you're convicted and that's your guy and you know he can do what you need him to do for this team, what I think in the moment doesn't matter. Like make that decision. That's why you got the job. So I'm cool with it. I just would have went a little differently.
Exactly. We got a Facebook coming in here. Grant Mitchell coming in here says, "Are you worried about Cam Ward in your division?" Absolutely not. I'm, just, I'm not worried about a rookie quarterback coming in the division
Not in the
until
moment, yeah.
like you got to prove to me that you can do anything. I'm not like when you're a quarterback. I'm not really worried about anything that you did in college unless it was just absolutely crazy. And I mean, I think Cam Ward's good, but I'm not necessarily worried um, about a
Yeah.
rookie
No,
quarterback.
yeah, I wouldn't say worried. If anything, in some weird way, I kind of like when the rest of the division gets these great players because like I want the highest level of competition. You said what?
I was talking to Rob Lucio comment. He said Taekwon Lewis was great when he got to Ohio State too, and so that's kind of
And it could go that way. But just to answer Grant's question, I mean, no, not worried in the slightest. But for what it's worth, man, Tennessee and Jacksonville, I thought had very, very good drafts. Dude, I think the division as a whole got a lot tougher. But again, I like that. I think iron does sharpen iron. I think when you're in a better division, you're forced to elevate your level of play. So I'm all about it. I'm all about facing Travis Hunter 2 times a year, Cam Ward 2 times a year, the Texans 2 times. Like I'm cool with that, man. I just want us to come out on top. And I think whoever's out there making Titans and Jags and Texans podcasts are also going, "Are you worried Tyler Warren's in the division now?" And they're saying the same shit, right? So everyone got some great players, but worried, no, not worried, but
yeah.
interesting.
If I had to rank it, it'd be Indy and Houston fighting for the bottom as far as draft goes for me because I thought Tennessee
Oh, they killed it.
absolutely
Great
cooked
draft.
up in the draft. I mean, from the wide receivers that they took, obviously they got Cam Ward. They needed quarterback, so it's tough really to grade that one. But I think you hit on the biggest need that you need right there. They got a couple wide receivers to fill. Got a deep threat. They just got a Restrepo. That was Cam Ward's guy, undrafted. Even though I'm not a big fan of him, but he still played really well with them. They got my guy out of Sac State, the guard. They picked him up. I thought Tennessee really did well. I thought Jacksonville did really well too.
Dude.
They got the linebacker out of Notre Dame. They got Travis Hunter. They got the running back out of Virginia Tech that's really speedy.
Tootin', yeah.
So I mean, I thought those guys did really well. And then as for Houston, I mean, they got my boy. They got not Jalen Royals, but they got Jalen Higgins, and they got his other teammate over there. So they got two receivers that I really liked. And so I thought
it's going to be a dogfight. Yeah,
did really well. And then as far as our draft goes, like I said before, I thought we hit every need that we needed to get and filled those spots. So I just didn't think we had the floor of the other teams. So I didn't necessarily think our draft even needed to be as far as like totally big. But I like what everybody really did. I think everybody got a lot better this weekend. Nathan saying here, this is the best draft Ballard has had. I'm surprised he didn't double dip at tight end. Somebody else said that too. Like even said it was better than his 18 draft, which was crazy.
I'm not sure about that yet, man.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm not surprised hearing it another time. But yeah, I don't know.
I'm glad people feel like that though. I'm glad people are pumped for it because it is a very good draft class. I don't think it's his best ever. I'd have to sit and kind of look through those again, but it's definitely a good one. I mean, I'm not mad at it at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I gotta see it play out a little bit more. Like I said, names were different than what I would have chosen, but obviously that can be proven different. So you guys will see me totally fangirling probably by July.
Exactly. Yeah.
Guys start
once we get some tape on these guys,
we'll see. But like I said, he definitely hit the positions that I wanted to get. Jordan says, "Miss you boys too. Work been nuts lately for sure, man. I know how that goes, but yeah, hopefully we'll get you back in here. I know draft time is your time, so hopefully we get you locked back in either this summer or next year." Ash was repeating something that Shane Steichen says. Tyler Warren's versatility. He was talking about how he played the Wildcat, played running back, played fullback, tight end, wide receiver. He said, "Shit, we might play him on defense as much as he does."
Just a football guy, man.
Yeah. Jordan also said, "I truly hope we get Hard Knocks just to have more of an inside look at the competition. Ballard would never let that happen, but God, it'd be nice." Actually, Ballard doesn't get to choose. I had because when this first came out about the Hard Knocks thing, I tagged Irsay and I said, "Please don't," because I don't want to know. I don't want to see this. I really don't. But
Too much drama.
somebody had retweeted and they said that Irsay doesn't get to choose, the NFL chooses. So if they think it is worth it, then oh man. But,
Stay away.
Dave Stewart saying here, did y'all cringe when Dallas drafted a Tyler? I did not.
Yeah.
Honestly, I did not think Dallas was going tight end at all. So I would have been shocked if they did. So I did not. I was more so after Tyler Warren made it past the Jets, I tweeted out and said, will Tyler Warren make it past 10?
Yeah.
And as soon as the Bears came up and they said Colston Loveland, I was like, Tyler Warren, you are cold. You're cold. You are cold. So,
my biggest anxiety was with Chicago because I'm like, oh, I know they need a tight end. I know they want a tight end. And then it took them like 10 minutes to announce that pick. Like they had some guest speaker come up. They had some presentation about something. And the whole time I'm sitting there stressed out. I'm like, bro, do not take my guy. But, I'm so glad it worked out for us.
Yeah, most definitely. Nathan's saying there that JT had 12 sacks this year, so he's been pretty good all year. I'd love to see him be successful. Again, like I said, I'm just giving y'all my opinion just because of what I wanted. I hope he's successful. Just got to see. Plus, defensive ends always have a learning curve in the NFL. It always takes them about a year or two. So I won't be too harsh on the kid. It was just more so initial reaction. Jacob Hillenbrand is saying here, I think anyone from Ohio State or Georgia is someone who's going to have a legitimate chance of being good, and we have two of those.
Yeah, I mean those are pro-ready programs, man. I mean we got a couple of those in this draft, but
I think that's more recent years too, and you got to pick the right side of the ball. Personally, just in my opinion, because I don't know about everybody on defense at Ohio State being some of the guys that walk into the NFL and everybody's like, yeah, this guy. And same thing for Georgia on offense. Don't think it's been a lot of those guys. But, yeah, man, I mean, Ohio State this year was absolutely dominant. So, I mean, I think anybody picking some of those players, I just don't see how you could be totally off about it.
Yeah.
Again, just my initial reaction. I'd love to see him work out because when you do watch him on film, I mean, the guy, he has, I wouldn't say the most pass rush skills or anything like that, but he has an absolute motor. He gets after the quarterback. I think he's relentless. He's tough. It's coming from a winning program. Obviously, we kind of been losers for a little while here in Indy, so we need the winning players. We need some mentality to come in here and show guys how to win all over again because we've been picking a lot of small school guys that have kind of been like diamonds in the rough, but not necessarily winners in their own right. So I think it's could be something that could really be good for us.
Yeah, easily, man. And I mean, he's just another guy who like checks all the boxes. Like just to be clear, neither one of us are down on the JT pick. It's just we would have went a little bit different way, but I'm more than happy to have the guy. I mean, I think he's going to be a huge asset. I think he could be insanely good. So, he checks all the boxes for me. I just want to see it now.
Absolutely. Dave said when he said Tyler and didn't use his last name fast, it was an oh shit moment. He had you puckered, Dave. He's nervous, like, oh no. He said, oh no.
I was right there with you, bro. I was so stressed. I said,
that was actually when that moment happened for me was when Seattle traded up and took Nick Emmanwori. I was pissed. I was pissed. I was like, no, mother. I was so mad, dude, because like I was really upset that we didn't get any of the safeties that I wanted. Like I said, I think Ballard kind of got what he needed to get. Just to think about it, I don't think we didn't get any safety, so that might still be
well, technically Waller, but he's moving over to linebacker, so
yeah. But I was mad that we didn't get Watts, Makuba, Nick Emmanwori, Malachi Starks. I was kind of mad that we didn't get one of those guys. But it is what it is. We'll see how it goes. I think there's still some vets out there on the market that I wouldn't mind, coming in on a vet minimum, competing.
Yeah, I'd love to add at least one more guy back there because I do think we have our starters. But yeah, I just want one more guy just for depth. And I'd love a vet to fill that position. So
for sure. Nathan said Coleman Owen, receiver, Ohio. What is that?
Must be an undrafted guy.
Undrafted. Uh, Jacob is saying here, Ballard could have taken Water Boys after Tyler, and I would have given the Colts an
I'm
A.
glad you're hyped about it, bro. I'm glad. I
I'm
wouldn't. I wouldn't.
glad
As much as I love Ward,
y'all more hyped than me, man, about it. But
I need a good
I mean,
draft all the way through. But yeah,
obviously, yeah.
Tyler Warren brought it up.
I think when you hit on your first round pick, it kind of just helps everything a lot. And I think we obviously can just slide it
Catching
on
it, yeah.
paper that our tight end room has went from F to at least A. So I mean,
Yeah.
like I think that's something we can all get behind.
Bro, feels good to walk away from a draft because we always have these Ballard drafts where it's like, I know we got better. I know we got a couple dogs, but I'm not sure who's who yet. And this is to some degree, but this is the first draft in a couple years where I can look at it and be like, I really, really feel like we have a next level type of player in the first round. Like that hasn't happened for a while. Maybe since Quentin Nelson. I'm sure there's a couple others I'm forgetting right now, but like getting Tyler Warren is a guy I immediately
People
look
were
at
killing
and
Ballard
know
about that too. I don't know if you heard that.
about what.
So Ballard said that after he took Tyler Warren after day one, he said, I haven't felt this good. Well, I felt pretty good about all the first round draft picks, but I haven't felt this good about a first round draft pick since Quentin Nelson. And a lot of people thought that was crazy.
And people make it about Richardson
since he drafted AR in the first round. Yeah.
See, and yeah, I mean, I think I understand what he was saying though, because this is one like obviously we're happy to get Anthony Richardson, but that was a project player and still is, and it's like you don't know necessarily what he's going to be yet. Tyler Warren, I think it's pretty easy to look and tee it up and knock it out of the park that guy's going to be a star. And that's why I mean, in kind of the same sense of I haven't really walked away from a draft feeling like that since Quentin Nelson, where you just knew that guy's going to be a 10, 12-year all pro, you know? And Tyler Warren, I think, has that same floor level of just being a star player. So, man, I couldn't be any happier about how the first round went for us.
Yeah, we looks like we just also got a safety in a corner, undrafted free agent, Keedrain Callaghan, invited to the Colts rookie minicamp.
Nice. Yeah.
Jordan said behind the scenes will be fun to watch the whole Bear situation right before us. Yeah, that would be kind of crazy, especially to see how those two picks might work out. I'm happy that Bynum is wearing 0. Ash says, yeah, it's good to finally get somebody wearing that. Tyler's can't miss like Nelson, so the comment made sense. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's what he meant.
People kind of overdo it with the whole AR thing. And I mean, and I don't think anybody was ever sure about Anthony Richardson anyway, because it was a project. It was always a project. It was always time to be a project. So just kind of one of those things. But
there was a point in time when everyone knew that and everyone agreed upon that, and then somewhere along the way, everyone forgot that he was a project player and started making all this stuff so stupid. It is funny though, with Ashley's comment talking about the jersey numbers. I need folks to remember Zaire Franklin wears 44. Like Dallas Clark, I keep seeing these comments of, I hope Dallas Clark gives Tyler Warren 44. Well, there you go. Then if he is giving it up, but people like forgot he even had it. Like everyone was like, man, he should call Dallas Clark to give him the number. He already gave it up to Zaire, bro. Like that is not news, but yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah. Was it the first thing I did when we drafted Tyler Warren is I tweeted out to Zaire Franklin. I said, hey, you gonna give up that 44?
Yeah, go ahead. You gotta understand this tight end thing for us.
Zaire said he was happy to get him, and he said that he hasn't talked to Tyler Warren about giving up 44. He didn't sound like he was completely opposed to it, so that would be cool. I'd be cool with Zaire going where number 4. Tyler Warren gets 44. That'd be pretty dope to me.
Yeah.
Also think that was pretty cool by Zaire Franklin and not to take it the wrong way and whatnot and get all pissed off or something if somebody asks him or something like that.
Oh, I do want to comment too. I don't know if you saw the same thing, but I kept seeing these comments about just the Warren family reaction and everything. Like they weren't freaking out and going crazy. And first of all, like the first clip they showed, he was still on the phone receiving the call. So like they're not freaking out yet. So people made a big deal out of that for nothing. But then I think too, the more clips I watch of this guy, like, yeah, he's a dog on the field, but him and everyone around, like his whole team they're just kind of reserved people, man. Like people tried to make it out like he was unhappy to go to the Colts, but then everything you see, he's stoked, he's smiling, he's happy to be there and everything. He's just kind of, he's not that over the top type of guy. He's kind of even keel guy. So I thought that was such silliness that just kind of leaked its way into social media. I was like, come on, man, don't do that to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really pay attention to most of the stuff that people be saying about like some of
Nor
the draft
should you.
parties and stuff, unless somebody absolutely just says like, "Oh yeah, I mean, this is cool, I guess."
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's when I feel a certain type of way about it. But other than that, I don't know. Dave made a really good point here. He said, "I know you probably aren't going to want to hear these comments too much because me and you have been the two that have been pretty high about this guy, but just you know, it is what it is." Dave said, "If Woods can be healthy, the tight end room can change astronomically better."
If
Yeah,
right.
I mean, yeah, exactly. That's like me and Trev have been the most two pro Jelani Woods guys,
For so long.
like for
And he lets us
forever.
down.
And it's like me and Trev are like the two most optimistic guys as well. So it's like it's hard to get us
I'm
out
trying,
on
bro.
player. Like, and so like I mean, we would hope that he could stay healthy because honestly, if he could, that'd be like some.
You're right. Yeah.
What
Be
was it?
nasty.
Who was it? Eric Ebron. No, not even Eric Ebron. Who do we have? We had
Jack Doyle.
no, not Jack Doyle.
Oh my goodness. I feel like I know who you're thinking of.
It was 83. 83. Oh, what was his name?
I know who you're talking about.
I want to say Dwayne Allen.
Yes, Dwayne Allen.
Dwayne Allen and who was the other dude we had at the time? We had the two tight ends set when we got Andrew Luck.
I mean, Jack Doyle. No, we got him a little later, didn't we?
No, yeah, it was. Oh,
man.
It was a teammate of Andrew Luck's as well. Oh my god,
Stanford guy. y'all help us out in the comments.
Help us out.
We're both having a blank right now.
Tight ends that we had Dwayne Allen and we had one other guy, bro, and it was a really nice two tight end set between them two. But yeah, so if Woods can be healthy, that would be that type of room. And I thought that, and this would be even
Coby
better.
Fleener.
Coby Fleener, yes.
Fleener.
It'd be like that. It'd be like Dwayne Allen and Coby Fleener. That room was real nice in my opinion. I used to love using them on Madden. I was cooking up all the damn time with both of them. Thought that was a really good tight end room. So if that could happen, that'd be really nice. Appreciate you, Zach. You got the best freaking memory, dude.
I swear, with the old players too.
Dude, it's crazy. With comments and stuff, but I kind of want to ask Trev so we can kind of get into some more conversation. Jordan said he think we have to cut Woods this year. So obviously we got Tyler Warner, so I'm not gonna choose that one. We're gonna subtract the first round pick out of that.
That's the easy one.
But from 2 through 7/8 picks, who was your next favorite draft pick that we selected over this past weekend?
Man, I mean, you can go so many ways with this. I really got a couple, but just looking at value of the pick and where we got him, everything, I got to go DJ Giddens, man. I'm so excited about this pick where I think he could be. He'll have a more limited role as a rookie and as a young player. But I think this guy could be legit, man. I think we look back in a couple years and go, how the hell did we get DJ Giddens that late? You know what I mean? Like his ceiling is unreal, and he's already got a high floor as well, just with the stuff he's able to do. He's only got to clean up a couple things, clean up your drops in the pass game, which isn't even the most important thing, and then clean up your pass pro, which he's going to learn as a professional anyway. I mean, this guy, dude, I love everything I see about DJ Giddens. He's an all-around back, and I was so happy to get him in the 5th because we've talked all this time about 5th, 6th round, you got to go get a running back. You got to get a running back. And I saw a couple guys go off the board that I really wanted. So I was starting to get annoyed with it. I'm like, dude, we just got to get one of these guys because there's so many good ones. And we got one of the probably top 3 guys that I had circled. And I'm just, DJ Giddens, aside from Tyler Warren, DJ Giddens was probably my favorite pick in the whole draft.
For sure. Yeah, I know Zach might love this one, but mine's was Jalen Travis, man. I think the dude's
monster.
Mammoth. He's huge. And then he's mobile. He's athletic. He can move around. They had him pulling on some tape. He also, I don't know if you guys found it, but there's a clip out on Twitter right now as well that he went up against the guy that I wanted us to take at edge, Mike Green, at the Senior Bowl, and absolutely locks him up. So I mean, like,
that tells you something.
Really play. So that was really mine. My favorite pick of the draft. I know Zach usually loves his big boys, but I did love the big boy in this one. Obviously, there's some other picks that I like. like Tim Smith as well, big boy.
Dude, great value that late.
Justin Wally, I like him as well. But I think my favorite outside of Tyler Warren was that Jalen Travis pick. I'm really hoping that he can be what I think he will be, or what he can be.
Bro, and like going into this draft, we talked about getting starters. And obviously we got one clear starter in Tyler Warren. But then looking through the rest of the draft, almost every player, honestly, aside from Riley Leonard and aside from Hunter Waller, I believe every player that we got can be a starter within 3 years. And some of them will have bigger roles before that. But even a guy like Tim Smith, I think he's teed up to be Grover Stewart's heir, kind of. You know, he's that same kind of seal the run, shut down the middle. I think he'll have, more limited snaps and be a depth guy as a rookie. He's a 6th-round pick. I understand that. But just he played a significant role for Alabama football, which means something. And he's a huge dude. He moves well. Same thing with Jalen Travis. Obviously, Justin Wally, JT, we're taking there for a reason. Like, every one of these guys in this draft, aside from the two I said, I believe could very easily be starters for us down the line. So that I love that part of it.
Yeah, Dave. Yeah, it was Kobe Fleener. I blanked on Kobe Fleener. My bad, Kobe. But yeah, Jordan Kibbe says Gibbons is one of the guys. Even though we signed Herbert could easily get cut. If
no.
I don't think you cut Herbert either. I think
you keep all three.
I think the odd man out would be
Tyler Goodson.
Gibson or Goodson, not Gibson. Goodson. I think we got one other running back.
Do we still have Evan Hull on the roster?
I think so. I think he might still be there. So
if so, I mean, he would also have to show out to stay.
I think those would be the 3 you keep for sure.
Yeah. Also depends if we keep 3 or 4. Like that kind of goes year to year, but easy top 3 is JT obviously, and then Herbert and Giddens. I mean, I don't think you cut Herbert at all. You brought him here for a reason. I think right now he's easily RB2. But good Lord, Giddens could take that job just with his ability. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, and he's bigger than Herbert too. So
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Zach, I had to give you give some O-line some love there, man, because I really liked it. It's like one of those things where like not too many people are going to pay attention to offensive linemen, let alone or really know him. But I really liked him. Really liked the way he plays, man. He's a tough guy, and then at the Senior Bowl, he really had some good reps there. So really like that one.
He's the guy too. I really believe like whenever the end of the Braden Smith era comes, whether that's sooner or later, obviously I love Braden Smith, not talking bad about him at all, but he's sort of trending towards older as a lineman. So you have to start preparing for that. And Jalen Travis, oh damn! But Jalen Travis is a guy teed up where I think he could easily be the starter at that right tackle position. So I'm very excited.
If it was me personally, Goodson is going on a practice squad. If it was up to me personally, I'm keeping JT Goodson and Herbert. Dave Stewart saying a lot of people complaining about Justin Wally. That's because they don't know him.
Yeah,
that's literally why. I mean, like, look, if you like me, because like when I watch the games, the college games, that's why it's so hard for me to remember names, obviously because my memory is bad, but just to keep up with them all, like I watch YouTube TV, so I'll literally have 4 games on at one time. So my eyes are going everywhere, and obviously I'm sticking to some of my favorite games. But when some of the games are like on commercials, halftimes and whatnot, that's when I really get to see some of the smaller players, see some of the plays that they make and the things that they do. He's one of those guys that obviously played for Minnesota, so who's really watching Minnesota? Not very many.
They were better this past year, but yeah.
And so I just think it's one of those things where you don't really know the player, then you don't really like him for whatever reason that is. I mean, QB's targeted him, I think had like a 50 QBR or something like that. Yeah. Like, dude can play, and he gets his hands on the ball. Like I said, he's sticky in coverage. If you don't really like the pick, it's because you don't really know him typically.
Watch a little bit of that tape. I think people would turn around on Wally. I'm excited about this one.
And so I like Justin Wally. Wasn't a guy that I was mad about, even though, like I said, there was different names that I would have chosen, but I wasn't mad about the Wally pick at all. So I think a lot of people think there was like some writers and stuff that came out and said he was like more of a slot guy. He really don't play slot all that much. He plays more on the outside, so he's just a smaller guy, but he was playing out on the slot. So I just think that's just something that I don't know. People.
Yeah, he's versatile. He can move around and play multiple positions back there, which is huge for us, especially when you think about injuries and where this guy could fill in. But also, I think not to go unsaid is he wore the C on his chest for Minnesota. Like that does count for something when you talk about just character, leadership, work ethic, all that shit. He was a massive contributor to Minnesota. Obviously, they weren't winning championships, but they did kind of have a program turnaround. They had a couple big wins this year. And looked like a solid team on their way to do better things. And Justin Wally was a huge part of that, right? So as a team who's trying to do the same thing in the NFL, it makes perfect sense from that standpoint. And then if you just kind of remove the name aspect of it, if I told you you were getting a cornerback in the 3rd round who can play multiple positions, he's fast, he sticks people, he doesn't just do these weak-ass arm tackles and get dragged, and he covers really well in both man and zone coverage, you'd say, hell yeah, turn that card in. You know what I mean? So I think it's just kind of a name factor with Justin Wally. I think people will change their tone once they watch this guy play a little bit, and that's my hope at least.
Yeah. So that's why people complain, man. I wouldn't take him too serious. I think obviously when we got to see these guys get to camp, it's kind of like what I said with JT. I thought that we should have went a different route with that. You know, I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, like I was pretty pissed just because of who I thought we could get there. That could have been
it's a fan aspect.
Starters for us. But I just think like a pick with Wally, like it's easy to complain if you don't really know. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to say that I'm no more than everybody, but I'm just saying like I stick a little bit more to this game and I go back and watch and look at what I'm seeing. I just think that if they go actually look at tape, go watch them all 22, not just highlights. If you do like highlights, then, you know, I would say look at him and look who he's playing against in those highlights and whatnot.
Yeah. Big Ten ain't no joke.
Yeah, so I just think that, you know, they'll figure it out one way or another, and hopefully he comes in and he plays well. Because at the end of the day, if people want to complain about it, we already made the pick and we're Colts fans. So, you know, let's just hope the guy succeeds so we can be happy with it.
100%.
Nathan is saying here we got another undrafted guy, Desmond Little out of UAB. I thought it was FAU.
I hope it's FAU because I don't like UAB.
I thought it was FAU. Maybe it's a different guy, but I thought I seen FAU.
Giving him a signing bonus is a sign that they feel good about him though. So
yeah, we just got also UTSA D tackle Joe Evans.
I like that.
Landon Parker was a guy that I mentioned already. It was UAB. UAB Desmond Little, defensive end. I see it more being like a camp body. I don't like most of these guys. These guys are coming in to compete and stuff like that. So wouldn't say they're going to be at all.
You never know with undrafted guys, man. You're mainly looking for camp bodies, and then those guys that just give you that extra mile and show you that extra spark will find their way onto the 53-man roster. And I feel like there's always one, maybe two guys that kind of stick out as undrafted free agents. So hopefully one of these guys is that. But I mean, they're also undrafted for a reason, right? So we'll see what comes of that. But sometimes you can get a really big hit as an undrafted guy. Hopefully one of these guys turns out. I do like that it's a lot of defensive players, though. I mean, if nothing else, get some depth over there.
Yeah, for sure. I think what else do we have on there? I think pretty much all of it on there outside of folks got any questions? What you guys got going on?
How we feeling about it, man? I mean, overall, I think most people walked away from this draft feeling pretty good, or at least I'd hope so. I haven't seen anyone saying it's a bust draft or anything, or fire Ballard or all this shit, right? Like this is a good class, man.
It was pretty fiery. Like I said, after that second pick, I mean, obviously with Tyler Warren, because our fan base was so split. Like those people pissed about don't take tight end. Warren ain't gonna be what's his name from last year?
Brock Bowers. But he's also just a different type of player.
Yeah, and then it was like go linebacker, go defensive back, go whatever other position and stuff like that. So it was definitely some beef going on. And I was one of the biggest with the D-tag with the edge rusher just because I know I keep saying it, I'm beating a dead horse here, but it was just like one of those things where I was just like, there's positions that I think Ballard's really good with, and I trust him with, and then there's
Sure.
positions that I think that he struggles with. So I'd rather get a more proven guy and a guy that can really do it. And so I was livid about the pick with JT because I just really felt like if you could have added, like you got Latu, you got geez, now I'm forgetting his name, goddamn it. The edge rusher out of Marshall.
Mike Green.
Mike Green, like
Yeah, I
it
think
literally
Skylerton was available
changes
there, who I liked.
it literally changes our pass rush to like we're not just banking on Quiddy Pay. So I was pretty pissed about that, but we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it goes. Like I would like to believe in it, you know.
Yeah. I understand the feeling because I like when you had stepped away from what I was telling the folks, I had a couple different people up there. Like I wanted Ben Morrison so bad. I think that guy's a top 10 pick that went in the second round.
Yeah. That was one
yeah,
of the ones that was a conversation too after picking Waller.
Oh man, that one hurt. But again, it's just I just go back to like, look, they put in weeks and months and maybe even years studying these guys. I mean, if they feel convicted enough to go and take that guy, I'm gonna have some faith in it. We've seen it work out. And I like as I said before, it was kind of a different mentality this offseason in player acquisition. Like he's really gone and got some dogs. So if you're telling me, he wants this guy in the second round, he wants this guy in the third round, with what he's shown me the rest of this offseason, I'm gonna trust it. I'm gonna have a little bit of faith in it. I'm gonna wait and see. Because same thing. I had different guys circled there, but we'll see. We'll see. Where like obviously these guys were available there for a reason, as in they were projected around that spot, even though they may have gone a little bit later. But like they're deserving of those picks, no doubt. So it's just kind of wait and see territory. But I have great faith in it, man.
Yeah, for sure. And that's another thing. I remember when we drafted Shaq, and he was called the worst draft pick of all time. So just don't judge these things too early, and not everybody that you hear. You never know how it'll work out. Dave Stewart says Terrence Wilkins, undrafted free agent, was big for us. I'm not familiar with that one. Is that sound like an Oregon name? Am I missing that one?
Terrence Wilkins.
Can't remember
I can't
that.
place it either.
I
probably feel bad once I remember who it is. But
Jacob said Mike Green had those sexual allegations that made him fall. Probably not on their board, honestly. Yeah, I don't think he was on the Colts board at all just because of that. But I was really hoping that Ballard would put the whole character thing aside this year just because he was kind of flipping what he would do. It was just more so just hope on my part just because I really felt like he could make a huge difference for us. So, I can't say I was totally surprised by it. I was just upset at it. And, it's one of those things where it's like something's going to happen and you still let it piss you off anyway.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, I think too, like with
and honestly, like I said, I take a guy in the SEC with 12.5 sacks over a guy in a bunk conference like Mike Green with 21.
Hey, chill on the Sun Belt now. Sun Belt is good football, all right. But no, I mean I understand, and like I don't want to comment too much on the whole Mike Green allegations because obviously that's very heavy, very serious stuff. I just want to talk ball, but I know it was like kind of iffy on like whether he was actually charged or whatever the case was, but. Typically with Chris Ballard, if that's even a conversation or a possibility that we're going to lose you because of some stuff you did off the field, he's usually not on the board. So as soon as I saw that was a possibility, whether it's true or not, I don't know. I wouldn't even dare to speculate, but I just kind of immediately assumed he's not going to be on the board regardless of the talent. He's very talented, but I do kind of agree with the second part there too of like a guy in the Big Ten, by the way, not the SEC, but with 12 sacks over someone in the Sun Belt with 20. But talent kind of carries wherever you go. So you could have gone multiple ways, and hopefully we went the right way with JT ultimately.
For sure, most definitely. Yeah, again, like I just like I understand the whole conference thing, and I'm big on the conference thing. I know Trev hates it, but me personally, I know. I'm big on the conference thing, but the reason I like Mike Green is not necessarily even the conference thing. It was more so even like you watch his tape. Like I mean, this guy can do everything. Whether you wanted the finesse to power. He had the spin move in his bag. He's a relentless rusher. Obviously,
That's
yeah,
it.
his competition may be bad a little bit, but I think some of the things he has would work. But again, it is what it is. You know, I'm not too upset about it anymore. I think it was initial reaction more so just because with the names that, you know, like I just hate seeing the names on the board that I really think are going to be good, and then we don't take them, and then they go somewhere else and be good. Like I'm kind of still irked about Bucky Irving last year, you know, and look how he did with the Bucks. You know,
Yeah,
it's one of those things where I just like I kind of just think, but we'll kind of see how it goes.
for sure.
He said 99 to 01. Nah, I was born in there. Oh, he's talking about way back. I thought you were talking more of a recent player. I'd have to look back and see if I remember.
You got us on that one, man. You're OG.
Dave, Zach said thoughts on the Sanders slide. I thought it was asinine, bro.
Yeah, it got to a point. Although I will say for us, right? Credit to us because we went an hour and 15 minutes without talking about Shedeur Sanders, and ESPN can't go 30 seconds right now. But it is like unheard of.
You
right?
see Mel Kiper?
Oh my goodness,
he was ready to fight, bro. He was ready to fight.
Out. So I'll say this about Shedeur. I don't know. It's a very weird spot, right? Because it became clear at a certain point that teams legitimately did not believe he was a first round talent. I'm willing to accept that. That's within the realm of reason. Maybe you believe his stats were empty or his dad kind of framed the game to get him those numbers. What have you? I could listen to that argument, right? When you tell me he hasn't gone by the third round and guys like Dylan Gabriel, Jalen Milroe, Tyler Shaw went ahead of him, that's when I start to be like, all right, something else. But then I go back to like the whole, the character and the ego questions, all that shit. Like, I don't know. I think something had to have happened along this process that turned a lot of teams off of him. And, hopefully we get the answers about what that was. But, man, I thought it was just insane. Because to me, regardless of what the issues are, right, if you have a need, and some teams out there needed quarterbacks and willingly passed on him multiple times, that's when it got asinine to me. Like, after the third round, I was like, this is officially unbelievable. I was willing to accept the slide. That made sense even. I could see the argument for that. But sixth round, I mean, that's a little unreal to me. That's a little like, y'all really wanted to make a point to him that he don't run shit, which NFL's a different game. Understood completely, sure. But at some point, man, like, don't you want to get better? Like, you want a player of that caliber. So credit to Cleveland. I guess they got probably a arguably first to third round talent, wherever you have him, but a day 1 or 2 talent in the 6th round. So that says something.
Yeah, I thought it was crazy, man. I didn't see that happening at all. I thought third round was crazy that he made it that far, and the fact to make it all the way to 5th was just ridiculous. I mean, like, I thought it was to the point where I was just like, yeah, I think the NFL was trying to teach Dion and other people a lesson. Like, we're not going to sit here and
ain't Colorado.
What you think. You're not just going to come in and say, oh, we're not going here. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. We're not going to that team. Like, he didn't work out at the combine. Like, you did all of this stuff. Like,
did not help his case.
Clearly, your dad and your agent did not read the room well because, like, y'all did not know. Like, the way that he handled this or their family handled this was so poorly to not know, because typically, like, Tyler Warren didn't work out, Ashton Jeanty didn't work out, Cam Ward didn't work out,
still went,
and they went first round. Like, the fact that you didn't do all of this stuff and you slip all the way to the 5th, like, that was crazy. Dude.
There's got to be some give and take as a prospect, man. You got to be willing to work with the teams, and I feel like that's really what caused the slide.
Well, Jacob said here his interviews must have been ass, and I mean, like, they had to be. I mean, like, it's just not crazy, because there's no way you watch him play football and say this is a 5th round pick. Like, it's just absolutely ridiculous. So I thought it was the NFL being shady, kind of did it dirty, but I mean, the Browns got him, so I mean, good for them. Like I said before, I was like, at 14, I would have ran in the car for Shedeur to fix our problems. Like, 3rd round, 4th round, I would have, if Ballard would have did it, I would have been like, I'm not mad. Like, I don't know. Like, I thought it was
man,
insane.
Something was wrong about that process, and I'd love to hear from the Sanders camp, or hopefully we get some more clarity about what happened, because I mean, that was just unheard. Like, we were talking about before the draft went, they were talking about he might slide to 21 to Pittsburgh, and that was considered to be kind of a free fall. We're talking day 3, he goes, like, that's unreal. That is unreal. And
Like,
I think like the weird part for me,
yeah,
the weird part for me is there's a lot of folks like taking a victory lap about this. And listen, I understand Shedeur is a polarizing figure. I get it. He does this and he didn't win a lot of games. I critique that myself because I'm like, man, he really didn't win shit. And he talks a lot for a guy that didn't win shit. But it's also just a little confidence, and you kind of want that from a quarterback. Whatever, that's personal preference, however fans feel about it. But man, like this makes you sit back and look at the process as a whole and go, y'all like these owners, these teams still run shit. And if you're not willing to play ball with them a little bit, they'll show you like they still run shit. So yeah, it was definitely an eye opener. Because love him or hate him, polarizing guy. He's a talented quarterback. He was not a 6th-round talent. All right, let's be upfront about that. He is. I could hear an argument about 2nd or 3rd, but I would disagree. I would say 1st or 2nd-round talent. And he went that late. So yeah, something in that process went horribly wrong. And I'd love to know. I'd love to get kind of the backstory on that because I've never seen anything like that. It was crazy.
Yeah, I would have never imagined, man. It was crazy. But Dave, yeah, now I'm remember Wilkins now, man. That was so long ago, 99, 2000. He had them 2 years, but he didn't really. I mean, he played a little bit, but that was crazy, undrafted guy. He gave us a little bit. But it's like crazy because I only remember the larger names from back then.
Yeah. Sure. That team was stacked. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking more of Reggie and them, so not Reggie, but Marv and Edrin.
But that goes to show too, if you can get an undrafted guy that's got lightning in a bottle, let that loose, let him go. So sometimes you can get lucky and find a guy. So yeah, I always like this time of year seeing who we bring in, who does well in camp. And we usually, more often than not, we have at least one guy that was an undrafted free agent that makes the 53-man roster. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I want to say it was the first. I want to say last year or
I think we broke the streak. Right?
It was like the first year in like years that an undrafted guy didn't make it.
Yeah,
which kind of like we finally getting to the point where guys aren't necessarily just making it as easy. So
yeah, for sure. But overall, man, hopefully everyone's just happy about this draft. I think most people are. This team got better, man. This team got better.
I think there's been less burned down buildings than I thought
there would
after the Tyler Warren pick. It seemed like most people came around after the pick was put in.
Hopefully so, man. I really believe we got a generational player there. I don't want to overhype it. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but that's that. As a fan, that's my feeling. Is like that guy's going to be next level good. I just can't wait to see it on the field, man.
For sure. Well, appreciate all of you guys. Appreciate you coming through. This is another episode of Kicking with the Crew. Again, shout out to the guys at ZTV, man. Appreciate everybody who came through, chopped it up with us. We'll catch you guys all on the next episode, man.
Yes,
appreciate everybody. And as always, go Colts.
Second down, he fakes the Taylor, fires over the middle, completes. Pittman.